At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vibra Live. My name is Adam. Here today, bring you some interesting news, some FUD, some hopium, all the above. Appreciate Mobius, you stopping in. Erwin, hope you're doing well over there in Portugal. Hopefully you're heading to Nazaré. Catch some of those huge waves. I sent you over a big wave board, so it should be coming in about 2 weeks, right around when Pulse launches. So get ready. It's got to be good. So, all right, guys, getting into it. If you're not following us on Twitter, follow us at Vibra Finance. Posting alpha on there. Be doing spaces starting next week. So hopefully get some interesting conversations going on over there. Now looking at Bitcoin, we are sitting at 27.6. You know, kind of expected this. You guys been paying attention the last couple months to my streams. I kind of thought we were going to run up to 30, 35, dump down, and then hopefully have a little alt season before I think it gets bad in May. But who knows? Pulsechain could save us. The Ripple lawsuit could end at any time. So there's so much going on in the market that, you know, I'd rather be in it than miss out on it at this point. You know, check the bubbles here on the week. I mean, that's as bad as it gets right there. Radix, the only weekly winner. You know, I've been bullish on this coin for almost a year now. You know, their mainnet went live this year. I think out of the Sui, Aptos, Radix, little niche in the market, those are the winners, or that is the winner out of those right there. So I want to check the bubbles, and I like to look at the hourly to see what's bouncing back. You know, on the daily here, you know, it looks like it's all liquid staking. If you look at the few things that are up, Lido, Frac shares, Stacks, it's not a coincidence right now. A lot of people are moving into liquid staking, into real DeFi. And that's why I'm so bullish on HEX, because inevitably these people that are getting their money off the exchanges, that money will flow into HEX. It's inevitable. It has the best yield. It's been running now for over 1,100 days, I believe. And it's a scam to most people out there still. I've been doing crypto consulting now for over 2 years, and there's only 2 coins that I have shilled to people where I've got pushback and people triggered, and it's unlike anything. And that's HEX and Xen. They're the only 2 coins where people had a legitimate problem, something flipped inside of them. I don't know what it was, but that to me makes me more bullish. That makes me, it shows me that there's something there that people are either insecure about, they're scared about, or they're protecting something. And I really think that in this next cycle, we've all been talking about how utility drives this next bull run. It does not matter. Utility has to be there. But if you just look at the meme coins, what's going on in this last month, you could start a coin tomorrow with 0 utility and have a catchy name, Pepe, Chad, Gary Gensler, Poor Pleb. All these meme coins are taking off. And that to me is a sign the market is starting to turn. And we also had some great news coming out of the Korean courts. Terra Classic is not a security. You know, my fingers have been crossed on this now for months. You know, I've been paying close attention. Myself, I think rags to riches is a Luna Bull. And the SEC for some reason is still harping on Luna Classic. It's a security. Do Kwon's been sued. It's getting ugly, but I like to see this. Korea, Asia, London, Dubai, Singapore, they're all leading the framework right now for crypto. And inevitably, it will flow over to us. We will be late to the party, but better late than never. We want to see what around the world is working, what around the world is failing. And right now, we can see that Zimbabwe to introduce gold-backed digital currency. So the country's central banks want people to exchange Zimbabwe dollars for the gold-backed token so they can hedge against the currency's volatility that the central banks created. They didn't put that in there, but they might as well have. But this article was interesting right here for a couple reasons. I didn't realize that in Zimbabwe, inflation is about 100% a month, give or take. A US dollar a year ago was worth 150 Zim dollars. Now it's closer to 1,000. So about 55% a month in inflation, which is crazy. They announced in August they plan to create a CBDC. Other African countries have been exploring it. Nigeria launched it in October 21. Well, this right here is a CBDC tracker from around the world. I've been watching this for a couple of years, and I got really fudded out with the CBDCs. I really did think that there was nothing we were going to be able to do. They were coming, and they were going to force it on us, and it was what it was. But if you start to look at this list now and this map up here, there's a new section called Canceled, which did not exist before. It was just the other three and a launched one in the Bahamas. The first time I saw it, all you saw was the Bahamas down here, the sand dollar. Now Jamaica's launched theirs. There's a few around the world, but seeing that Ecuador has canceled theirs and also Denmark, I believe, canceled theirs. That's awesome to see. That just shows you there's countries out there that have a brain. There's countries out there that will stand up to the central banks, to the World Economic Forum. We are the ones that fund the IMF, the WEF, United Nations. The U.S. is the primary funder of all this. So we talk out of one side of our mouths and do another thing. Politically, we pretty much create wars in other countries. And no, we do create wars in other countries. I'm not even going to say maybe. We do for a fact. And I hear so much about the dollar's collapsing. The dollar's collapsing. It's going to go to zero. There's going to be a buyback on your dollars. You deposit your dollars into a bank, and they're actually going to charge you to hold it there. That's never going to happen. Janet Yellen pretty much said it right here in a speech this past weekend, that she admitted that we have armed the dollar and used it as a weapon. She recently conceded that weaponization of the dollar could potentially cause problems for her country. Warned in her speech that the U.S. government will not hesitate to punish Chinese companies that violate its sanctions on Russia. She added that her government will also impose sanctions on human rights abusers. So all these influencers that are saying the dollar, yes, the dollar is losing value. We understand that. We printed 50% of the world's dollars in the last 2 years. That will cause inflation. That will cause a problem. But I really do not think we, for one bit, would let China and Russia team up and start controlling cross-border payments, controlling oil. We would go to war before that happened. And she's saying, this smile right here on her face says it all. There's no way we are going to just give up the dollar without a fight. China, too, is also backed, or their currency is pegged off of the dollar. If the dollar fell apart, the entire world would have collapsed already. So now that I take a step back and see, and was on vacation and wasn't, reading headlines every day, you start to think clearer again and think with your brain. These headlines and these articles online are so good at just making you remember a couple words or just putting subconscious thoughts in your mind. And these CBDCs are all going to be an offer. China has failed epically. This article right here, Chinese city to pay staff in CBDCs. China continues to roll out its digital yuan CBDC, this time in Chengzhou, a city with a population around 1 million. So you read through the article and you realize that this is nothing new. They've been rolling this out for a couple of years. But the last sentence of the article, however, critics say the government is attempting to assert control over citizens' payments, which would come entirely under government surveillance. China's digital yuan is part of an ongoing effort to diminish reliance on the US dollar-dominated financial system. Still, the adoption rate of digital yuan among Chinese citizens hasn't been exactly phenomenal. People are still reportedly seem to prefer China's popular digital platform payments, WeChat and Alipay. So, guys, do you think this is coincidence that all the stuff with Elon Musk and X.com and renaming Twitter's company X is just coincidence? I don't think so. I really do think that Elon is going to incorporate payments into Twitter and roll out some kind of WeChat, some kind of Alipay competitor that is compliant with everything here in the United States. It's insane that we can't pay with crypto or send text, through Twitter, send someone some Ethereum or whatever it is. If I wanted to sell, some hats on Twitter, you can't send me some HEX and I'll ship you a hat. The fact that that's not built into these systems is crazy to me. And I do see Elon doing that. Alipay and WeChat over in China are both widely used for services such as online shopping, utility bills, and transport. So that is getting 99% of transaction volume over there in China. Nobody's using these CBDCs. They're shoving it down people's throats and no one's using it. So they're the headlines are getting crazier. They're expanding it into these cities, but they're not telling you that they're paying this government in the CBDC, but there's a massive incentive behind it. So people aren't just voluntarily signing up for this whatsoever. It's not happening. These countries are all going to start doing what Ecuador did down here and cancel their CBDCs. I just don't see this happening. These countries are broke. They don't have the money to deal with ESG, with all of this climate nonsense. They're worried about feeding their people and keeping their currencies from 7xing to inflation. I mean, the Zimbabwe dollar, 150 to 1,000 over a year. That's horrible. You can't sustain with inflation at that level. And CBDCs, honestly, are going to make that worse. So I'm just don't fall victim to the CBDCs. I think it's really going to be an offer to the United States. It's going to be with universal basic income, or, hey, look, if you close down your traditional account and come over here, we'll give you a bonus, 10%. We'll give you $1,000. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be an offer. It's not going to just be, hey, tomorrow you guys are using this and that's it. No way. So switching up a little bit, Bitcoin Ordinals extension Unisat wallet hit by large number of double spend attacks. So I was watching a stream with Jack Levin, the Ordinal NFTs launching on Xen. And I thought, that it's kind of cool, bring some new utility to Bitcoin, which is a store of value, but this is not good. Within 30 days, there's already a double spend attack. And I just don't see the use for this. It's great for headlines. It gives these Bitcoin maxis something to talk about. Hey, look, we have 4 kilobytes or 4 megabytes of data we could put in each block. So, let's fill them up with these NFTs or whatever. I thought it was kind of stupid. At first, I don't see any use to it. Maybe it'll change, but it was just another way to, I think, bring Xen in front of a new audience, get it in front of some Bitcoin maxis, some Bitcoin OGs that, how they are. It's the same in every community. Once you are incentivized to do that with a coin, it is what it is. You're going to find it across all communities inevitably, and that's just a part of being early and people excited and want to see their coins be number one. But it'll change. And I thought this right here was a really interesting article. Musician Grimes willing to split 50% royalties with AI generated music. She took to Twitter to voice her support of AI generated music, saying she's a guinea pig for the new technology. So I guess Drake had some problems. In this article, they're saying that people are putting together songs of him in The Weeknd that have been floating around. So this is going to be a big problem. I didn't even think about this. AI musicians and AI music, having, these systems write you a song and then using AI voices of people to sing them. That's pretty crazy. And I can see where, this is scaring some people, but I think this girl's going about it the right way. She gets the future of where this is all going. Very interactive platforms where you and the artist can communicate. You have a say on the songs that are being written. Heck, you could even go out there and make an AI song with her and make yourself an artist. I'm Young Hex, or my rap name is Lil Hex, and this is my new song with you, Grimes. I had ChatGPT put together the bars. You sang the hook, and now we're going to launch this song, and we'll just split the royalties 50-50. And, it's very interesting. I think she's thinking the right way, but this is getting out of control. I don't want to have to be able to think, oh man, this music video, is this all AI? Was this actually filmed and recorded? I really think that this AI stuff is going to bring a light on how important people doing stuff really is. And I hope that it kind of gets rid of wanting everything AI and letting people, reinforcing that there's nothing like the human touch. AI is never going to be able to replicate it like a human is. And I'm always going to want something that is human written, recorded by voice. Maybe I'm just going to be old in the future, and in 10 years, it's not going to matter if we get our AI or our news from a AI bot feed. That just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that'd be a happy life. It just seems like more monotony and just, I don't know. I want the opposite. I want Hexago to grow. I want us to build stuff together, build our own supply chains instead of just giving in to robots and AI and yada, 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 outsourcing to China, India. Why can't we do this ourselves? I don't see the reason we can't have farms. We can't have our own, grocery stores with organic vegetables, organic meat, chicken, cat or beef. I mean, heck, even like bison or whatever. I don't see why we can't have our own supply chains. And that's something that I'm going to be building in the future, because I want a farm that is self-sufficient, that can grow food. If someone loses their job and is struggling, hey, come live here. You can at least have a place to stay, a place to work for a little bit till you figure it out. You don't have to worry about anything. That I think is the future. And building those out across the country. If every 6 hours we could have a Hexagon, completely, not even off the grid, but self-sufficient farm where you had everything right there, shelter, food, even like a streaming studio for people to come in and stream or catch up, whatever. I think that's the future. That's what I'm excited to build. And also too, I want to build some, with Viber Finance, I do crypto consulting. I was talking to one of my buddies, Tommy D, today. He's a financial advisor and he has his Series 65. So this article here is all of these guys, these BlackRock people, these traditional finance guys, their egos are going to come into crypto and they're well funded. So they're going to think, hey, we're going to come into crypto and just crush it. I don't think that's the case. I see so many stories of these TradFi guys coming in, these Wall Street guys getting annihilated because they have no clue the difference between crypto. So why not do this ourselves? Why can't, Vibra Finance as a company start buying assets and just holding them in a wallet or with a qualified custodian legally with HEX Trust or Coinbase custody or whoever else, and then having those assets appreciate in value over the next 5-10 years, and you just sitting on that capital, you could take loans out against that. You could get so much funding off of that. So why not putting our funds together, having them, under a legal umbrella, not expecting any profit. We're not, I don't want returns from it. I want to just see it grow. If you had people that thought that way, they weren't always short-term thinking, what can I get out of this? If we put our ideas, our resources, everything together, why couldn't we, start raising or having donations for some kind of our own trust where you can go in when Liquid Loans launches or these other platforms launch, go and get funding off of that. We never touched the principal, and we could start all these offshoot businesses without coming out and touching the original principle. These guys are doing it. BlackRock, Grayscale, all these guys are going to see the light and say, I can just do this myself. We're so early in this industry. I mean, in 15 years from now, does anybody think that Bitcoin is going anywhere? I mean, it's 15 years old now almost. And I cannot see a future within 15 years that Bitcoin is not more important, is not, needed by these countries to prevent inflation from going to 10,000 Zim dollars in a year, from 100, to 1,000 in the future, from 100 to 10,000. That's what happens when human greed, corruption, power, it happens in these resource-rich countries in Africa, in South America. I mean, that's the future down there. They have all the resources, and it's developing them, getting infrastructure down there. And DeFi and crypto, cross-border payments, all this is going to play such a big role in stabilizing these regions, stabilizing countries, just having the option of using Bitcoin versus their local insane currency. Within 10 years, the difference is going to be crazy. I just look now at El Salvador, and I remember like 10 years ago on TV, all you saw was like the gangs of MS or gang wars in LA, or the gang wars from the MS-13. The 60 Minutes, I think, lady went down there and did a tour of the gang-infested streets of El Salvador. And now it's the safest country in South America because they adopted Bitcoin and crypto. So it's insane to see the transition, the most dangerous country in South America to now the safest within a decade. So that's the power of what crypto brings to people. And it's coming that way. Right now, I'm so bullish on Ripple, the company. Not as much XRP, but Ripple Labs, what they're doing. And I've been paying attention to their partners in Asia, in Japan, in Singapore, and they are going to be one of the biggest companies in the world. You can already start to see now that laws are being put in place in Singapore, in Japan, Dubai, all across the Southeast. Laws are falling into place. And it's not just coincidence that Ripple and XRP are now being widely adopted, being used, and wallets are increasing the number of XRP in them. I knew this was going to happen over time. And I really do think that Ripple, the company, when the stock releases, if you're an accredited investor, you can still buy into Ripple stock on link2.com. If you're accredited, it's super easy to do, but I think it's going to outperform XRP. I really do. I saw what Coinbase did. Coinbase was $10 a share on here, and you were the last people to get into it, and it launched at 360. That's a 36x on a stock. So even right now, after all the dips, all the nightmare that's happened, Coinbase, if you bought on Link2, you're still up over 500% on your investment. You were up 3,600 when it launched. I don't think XRP is going to do that, in my opinion. I really don't. I don't think XRP is going higher than $10 this next cycle. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. But this here, Ripple, is where the profits are going to be made, in my opinion. And you can still get into it right now on Link2. You can get into shares of it. And honestly, I'm into it. I'm invested in it. I mean, it's a risk at the end of the day. But after seeing what Coinbase did, and also their partner on here, Pulsechain, which is one of the biggest custodians out there, is also listed on here. I think those two companies right there are going to be absolute beasts. So being able to pull some crypto profits out, put it into these pre-sales right here, get exposure to crypto through traditional finance, it's a win-win. Another strategy out there for you. So Ripple, these guys, because Ripple's main partner in Asia, SBI Holdings, which has a significant stake in the company, this has led to a massive increase in XRP usage in the country. GME Remittance adopted RippleNet to foster cross-border payments. Thus, a hike in real-world use cases across the continent laid the groundwork for further adoption of the token. Another reason for the Asian input are regulatory challenges the project has been facing in the U.S. I mean, this is nothing new. This article obviously is biased. There's great bits in it, but other parts are just so wrong and so just triggering almost, but you got to be able to see through that. But just in general, Ripple, this lawsuit, this could settle at any point, and it'd be a massive bullish catalyst for all of crypto. Janet Yellen, she knows these guys will go to war before we lose the dollar as the world's reserve currency. All of the other currencies are pegged to it, right? China, their yuan is pegged to the dollar. We're China's biggest China's the biggest debt holder to the United States. So they basically control us with debt that everyone knows is never going to get paid back. The debt ceiling is getting raised to 33 million. Illuminati confirmed now. So it's just monopoly money. And we all know that. So the BRICS countries are going to a gold-backed currency. And that's how they're going to try to get around the U.S. But what are we going to do? We're going to sanction the hell out of them if they do that. So I don't see their way out of this. We have the option to just start drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, in the North Dakota. There's tons of oil, and even the Alaskan pipeline. We turn that back on, and we start producing our own oil and shut all these countries off. I think they are doomed if that happens. We're the biggest consumer of oil. I don't see how Saudi Arabia could survive without the United States. So they got to be very careful what they do. And I'm sure they are. But I don't see, I'm curious to see how it plays out with this R5. If you don't know, it's Russia, Brazil, India, China. They all came together and they have the R5 currency, which is going to be backed by gold, other commodities, oil, palladium, I'd imagine silver, everything. And they're going to try to use that as their, oil payments, whatever, their trade payments. The U.S. we're not going to let that happen. We will sanction the hell out of all these countries. That's exactly what Janet Yellen says. She says we basically weaponize the dollar to prevent these countries from doing exactly that. We will not hesitate to punish Chinese companies that violated sanctions on Russia. Her government will also impose sanctions on human rights abusers. Hint, hint, the war over there in Ukraine. Anything going on over there. And I think they'll retroactively go back and sanction these countries for it. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. So I'm so bullish. The markets right now, obviously we're in a dip right now. This last week has been horrible. But if we can see Bitcoin come back and make a climb now back to 30K, one more push up while dominance slowly falls, I think we could get an alt season and that we could all tremendously benefit from that. I'm so bullish on Xen. I was so wrong about it. I was on stream back in January, I think it was, or February with Facing Reality and Torin. And right at the end of the stream, we were arguing back and forth and stuff. And I said, the Xen bottom is in, load up your bags now. And that was a horrible call. Xen rolled over again. And I think again, it might have rolled over twice. I know it did one time, but now the bottom is 100% in. You're seeing how now with the burn, with gas expensive, with all these other projects around it, DB Xen, Exelon, Phoenix launching next week on Polygon. There's so many bullish catalysts for Xen now. And I was wrong on the bottom being in January, but it is in now for sure. Obviously anything can happen, but I just don't see it rolling over again like we had previously been doing every week. It seemed like, it was almost becoming a joke, right? That look at the HEX or look at the price of Xen, but people on Twitter that were just looking at the charts of Xen and didn't understand that it was a free mint for people. And obviously when you mint something for $5, $8 and it's worth $50, $75, you're going to at least probably take your profits out. So anybody that looks at the chart says, oh yeah, horrible coin, just block them, delete them, mute them on Twitter, because they're wasting your time. They're extremely low IQ people, right? Zen's chart, you can't look at it like another coin until all these other projects are launched. These burn mechanisms are in place. It's no longer profitable for these really short-term batch mints. And we're starting to see that now. So I'm super bullish on Xen. Phoenix is launching this weekend on Polygon. And shout out to Chris at the Verse, because he was over there doing some degen stuff on Polygon. And he told me, he's like, dude, you got to get into Xen over here, because he said it's starting to go crazy. He said you get your liquidity. It's 10x what you pay for. So I bought $100 worth and I got $1,100 worth of Xen, but it was $1,100 worth of Xen tokens, but only worth $100 of Matic. And right now it's been 4 days maybe, and now it's worth $250 something. So Matic Xen pumped like crazy up here. And now with Phoenix launching this weekend, I'm super bullish on it. I swapped out the rest of my Polygon, and I think I had some other altcoins sitting on there that honestly I forgot about. So I swapped them all out for Xen on Matic, and also on BNB. I had some Seedify and some Altura on there. And I swapped out all my S fund because the staking is horrible on the website. It went from like 11% on a 30-day stake down to 1%. So the staking's horrible. I have my SNFTs staked on there, so I'm just going to deal with that. I got rid of the coins, got rid of 80% of my Altura. I kept a small bag of it left because I just don't see any of it outperforming Xen, especially on Binance too. It's the same thing over there, except you get a ton of tokens, but the liquidity is right. I don't know what's going on Matic, but if you go swap $100 out, you get $1,000 in tokens. So eventually, I think that arbitrage will get eaten up, and they'll be back to level. But we're so early into this, I just can't help but throw $500 into Xen on Binance, another 500 over here on Matic, and just see what happens. We have X1 coming in the L1 next year. So there's plans for it, and just being on Xen Turbo and seeing the stats, I'm just super bullish on it, on the whole ecosystem. And I did DB Xen myself. Now I'm not a whale or anything. I only have 35 DX Xen, but I've done about 40 batches maybe on here, and I love it because you burn your Xen, right? Say I do, it's 2.5 million per batch. So say I do 5 batches. That's I don't know how much Xen it is. Say it's $50 in Xen. I'm gonna burn that Xen, and then I'm gonna recoup it in ETH within 2 weeks. I've already recouped 0.018 from the 5 batches I burnt yesterday. I did 10 up front 2 weeks ago. It was 0.06. I've gotten back 0.12 already. So I've gotten all of it back. And with those rewards, you can just buy more Xen and rinse and repeat over and over and over. And this is phenomenal. DX Xen, the price of it just rolled over. It does almost every day, but I'm not worried about that. I'm looking at this long term. Where is this going to be in a year, 2 years from now? So every day I'm burning a batch of Xen, and, like I said, I'm no whale, but I'm going to try to do more of this and bring more in. I just see the upside when you can print free ETH and then start to roll that back over. I don't see what else beats this. Where are you going to get that passive income from that's comparing to this? Something I really do like though is Flare. That's one that I don't know, they changed the way they're doing the drops. And now that the way they're doing it is if you take a bag of Flare right now and you download the Bitfrost wallet, you can delegate your bag and you will qualify for the remaining Flare distribution. So let's see. I don't know if this is right on here, but you can get Flare on Atomic Wallet. That's my favorite spot to get it, right here in Atomic Wallet. You download it, you get your own private keys to the app, and it has basically a cross-chain Uniswap built into it. So you can come in, swap ETH, Bitcoin, HEX, anything you want for Flare inside Atomic Wallet, and you own your own keys. So, right, I did it. I bought like $250 worth of Flare. I sent it. You have to download Bitfrost Wallet. I did that, sent it over there. I delegated it with FTSO and one other validator, and it was like 8,000 coins when I bought at like 4 cents. And the first Flare drop I got was almost 1,800 tokens, and last month was 1,600. And those are free coins just for delegating. And there's 33 more left. So you're going to over 10x your bag just from delegating Flare. So I think it's personally way too risky to not throw whatever you can afford to burn, to lose, whatever, a couple $100, $500, $1,000, whatever it is you can afford. Flare's at 3 cents. What's the downside risk to this? What can it drop down to? A penny and a half. So even if it falls 50%, you're going to 10x your bag in the Flare drops, in the rewards. You cannot lose. So that's another thing. So now I've really shifted my focus to where before it was kind of just buy bags and stake them where you can and just hodl them. And now it's to the point where if you can get rewards like you can in DBZen and Flare here, if the other positions you have can't compete and they're very similar price-wise, I'm consolidating and just dumping them into these 5 projects here. With HEX, Hedron, Icosa, that passive income wheel over there. Flare is coming soon with Flare XRP. You lock both those up and then you earn the Canary dollars. And then with the drops alone every month, I'm getting thousands of free Flare coins. Yeah, it's $40, $50 a month right now, but I can guarantee you next bull run, it's going to be significantly higher than that. So to be able to 10x your bag. So even if you buy $100 worth right now and delegate it, you can just sell your airdrop you get for the next 3-4 months, and you recouped your entire investment. Now you have a free moon bag of Flare that you can play with moving forward. So I just don't see how you can lose. I think it's way too risky to not do that than to sit on the sidelines and be one of those people that says, oh, it's just an inflation coin. It just inflates forever. It's a shit coin. It just inflates forever. That's so not true. Look into it. Yeah, every coin right now has inflation problems, from Hedera to XRP to Algorand. So many of these blue chip coins right now are getting crushed because they're being dumped on us. XRP, 1.5 billion coins just came out in the last 2 or 3 months. They have unlocks coming out for the next 3-4 years. So I've kind of transitioned also my strategy for long-term hodling with these blue chip coins. The ones that have the massive inflation problems, I'm scaling back on those positions and trying to DCA into ones that don't have them. So everybody, it's different for, but that's just a strategy that I've been trying to stick to, just to have the hold Flare and Atomic and on. No, Mobius, it's not. So when in Atomic Wallet, you can get your Flare, you can swap for native Flare, because in the Zoom wallet, the XRP wallet that I use, the Flare in there is not native Flare. It's like Songbird or whatever Flare, Y Flare, I think, or X Flare. I'm not sure what it is, but the Flare you get in Atomic Wallet is the real Flare. So when you swap for it in Atomic, you have to set up Bitfrost Wallet and go there. And once you set that wallet up, you can send your Flare in, and then you just have to wrap it and then delegate it. So it's bitfrost.io. This is the wallet. right here. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, let me double check this. It might not be. Bitfrost wallet. There we go. Okay, sorry. Yeah, bitfrostwallet.com. Scratch that. Now, yeah, do not go back to that other site. It is Bitfrost. I'll put it in the chat right here for you. So you download that. It's free. I think you have to send in 10 XRP maybe to unlock the wallet. But if you need it, if you don't have XRP, just message me your address. I'll send it to you. I got a bunch of XRP in my Zoom wallet. So I'll help you out with that if you need it. So that will unlock it. The 10 XRP will get your wallet good to go. You add in, you add the coin you want to the to your app, and then you withdraw it from Atomic Wallet right to here. And then when you click on Flare here, a button will pop up, and you can click Wrap. And as soon as you click Wrap, a menu pops up, and then you can delegate it from there. And it's one click. And then once you delegate two, you also earn weekly rewards. So I'm only earning like 11 because the APY is terrible and I'm a pleb. I have like $400 worth of coins, but you know, I'm thinking for this long term. You know, it doesn't seem like much now, but in the future, when things really start to roll around, when this legislation's in place, I mean, all the institutions, all these big businesses, all these companies right now are testing out liquid staking and institutional staking. MetaMask just rolled it out last month. You know, Hex Trust is doing it with Hedera, their whole governing council. Fidelity is introducing crypto for business accounts. So all this stuff is being built out right now. So you got to just focus on, you know, what is attainable for you and how you can do that, how you can reach your goals. You know, just stuff like this, just getting into Flare and delegating it and 10xing your bag over the next 2 years or 3 years now. How can you lose doing that? I don't see how you can. So these are like the little things that if you can find in crypto, Hex, Hedron, Icosa. If you're a Hex staker, how can you lose minting your Icosa every single month? It's free money. You cannot lose. It's the same thing with Flare. It's just you delegate and you collect your rewards every single month. You cannot lose. And there's ways in crypto where you can't lose if you figure them out. So that's all I got for today. You know, the market is obviously dipping, but look for the coins that are coming back. You know, and that too, the fact that Rocket Pool, Lido, the liquid staking protocols, that they're bouncing back, that's real DeFi. Well, it wants to be real DeFi, but that means people are looking for it. People are searching for staking, for DeFi. They want out of the exchanges. They want out of that whole nightmare. And Hex is the go-to for DeFi. We made Uniswap. We made the DeFi summer in 2019 or 2020. So appreciate all the support. Appreciate everyone for stopping by here. So I got a little excited and didn't go through the chat. Facing reality. Get rid of that elbow cough. Now that you're in Portugal, get rid of it. Bobby Hexelrod, appreciate you stopping in. Piper, appreciate it. Looking good today. Yeah, hey, trying to wear the suit. You know, I'm talking to a screen on the internet, so I got to at least look official. Locker and loaded. Man, that elbow cough's got facing reality. It's locked and loaded. All right. Jeez. Lindsay at Viber Finance. Good morning. Good morning. Godfather J6. Appreciate you stopping in. OX Colette. Richard said Pulsechain snapshot warning. No way. Are you serious? Let me check that out. Richard Hart Win. Did I miss it? Testing. Oh, Lindsay the Hexigan put it in the chat. Let's see. I can't find it. I suck at finding this stuff, but hey, that gives me homework to do. I'll talk. That's something I can hopefully talk about tomorrow. I mean, Ivan on Tech came out today and said Pulsechain's coming in a week. If you guys didn't see, he did a interview with Crypto 7 this morning. It was really good. So check that out. Like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, whatever the buttons are telling you to do on your TVs, your tablets, your phones. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Appreciate the support.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.